Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a good week. At least when I'm taping this, it's very spring-like. And I'm looking forward to spring. I know it's still winter, but I'm looking forward to spring. So the topic this week is sin. It's a good Lenten topic, I suppose. It's also a good topic for this year of mercy. But let me tell you a few new things that are on campus guides. So if you look at the tabs over to the far right, you'll see a new tab that's called e-reserves. And that's where you can find the link to all of the readings in the syllabus or in the course outline that refer to e-reserves. And that's most of what you'll be reading for the rest of the semester. When you click on that tab, you have to put in the password again, but it's the same, Mercy with the capital M. And I think for the most part the articles are in the order in which we're taking them, but since I didn't load them, they were loaded by the library staff. I can't reorganize them. You have to be careful of what you're reading. So the two articles that you're going to read this week are pretty short, and they both have a different approach to sin. So the first one is by Gail Ramshaw, and she's now a retired professor from LaSalle University in Philadelphia. She's Lutheran, but she is a really active member, had been an active member of St. Vincent de Paul Parish, Catholic parish, Vincentian parish in the Philadelphia area. But Gail's first field was literature, and she approaches liturgy from that. She's written so many books on liturgy and church worship, and that is her specialization. But her article is on other examples of human limitation besides sin. And one of the things that she says in her article that sticks with me is the importance of being who we are in front of God, being honest with ourselves in front of God. And it reminds me of the tradition, really, of the daily examen, taking time out at the end of the day, at least it's what happens in monasteries, right before Compline. There's this time when the community is all standing there, and it's as though you're standing before God, reviewing the day and sort of assessing, where am I? Being honest before God. I think it's a really good article. And she has some other images of human limitation that will be of interest to you. The article comes from a publication called Concilium, which is not really a magazine, except it gets cataloged sort of as a magazine, and each issue of Concilium considers a complete topic, and they have authors from all over the world. It started after the Vatican Council too, so it's both ecumenical and international. So if you see references to Concilium, you know that it's a really excellent reference. And the other article is actually a chapter from a book by James Keenan. He's a Jesuit, and he teaches ethics at Boston College. And this is actually, he actually has a revised edition of the book on the Works of Mercy, and expanded, but this article is the same, and you're reading it from the first edition of the book. And his specialization is virtue. So he's, he doesn't ignore sin. In fact, he thinks that we are presumptuous in thinking that we're better than we are. But most of his writings are about the importance of cultivating virtue. So not really fixating on the sin, but trying to cultivate those things that kind of compensate for sin and help us to avoid sin. So those are the two articles. And then there's the discussion, and this time there are really 3 questions to answer, one about Ramshaw, one about Keenan, and one about capital sins that's within the unit. And then there's the usual question at the end for any questions or comments that you have. And that's really it. It's not a heavy reading unit, which will be a relief to some of you that are quite behind in your work. When you submit your reflection paper, the second reflection paper that you write before you begin the last unit, make sure you put the summary, the little précis, on the discussion board. If you need any help or any assistance with your research project, it might be a good time to check in with me. Actually, maybe it would be a good time for each of you to check in with me and tell me how you're doing, and what you might need help with, or just, it's midterm time for the undergraduates, so it's a good time for you to look at where you stand at this point in the course and with that major project. Okay? So otherwise, have a good week. Enjoy your week, enjoy your work, and let me know if you have any questions or problems. Bye.